What's up, family? Hey, I want to talk real quick about levels to our spiritual growth and development. There are levels to this, okay? But each level, our growth and development, put it this way, can be broken down into three areas, three general areas. And there's different levels in each of those areas, okay? And so every one of us have to go through three subgroups in our growth and development. Everybody, it don't matter who you are, we all have to go through these three different groups. And in each of those groups, there's different levels. Here we go. First group, I call that the bathwater. The bathwater says, a little baby, you can't be left alone in the bath by yourself. You got to have somebody over you, somebody with you to give you a bath. You can't be trusted to draw your own bathwater. As you grow, now we trust you to draw your own bathwater. But we're going to come in and check on you from time to time because we don't trust you to be alone for long periods of time. That's bathwater. Stages. As a baby, we're going to give you a bath. We're going to let you play in it. As you grow and mature, now you're able to do a little bit more stuff on your own. That's the beginning stages of your growth and development. You're brand new to this. And as you grow, you're still a kid. I don't care how old you are, you're still a kid. You're still at that stage one level. You're still in that beginning group. Second level. This is river water. I'm talking about river water. River water runs deep. River water runs hard. And see, river water is totally different from bath water. Bath water, you control the environment. You control the temperature of the water. You control the height of the bathtub or the height of the water in the bathtub. You control what's in the bathtub. River water, man, that's a whole new ballgame. River water, there's currents. River water, there's rocks. River water goes so much deeper than bath water. River water, man, there's animals out here. There's snakes. There's large fish. Bears come to the river. There's all kinds of different things that if you're not careful, you could get hurt. That's not little kid stuff. You can't be no little kid out in the middle of the river by yourself. You can't control your circumstances in the river. And so the bathwater, bath is to clean you up. Superficial on the outside. It's just to clean you up. Now you move up to this level of the river water. You could take a bath in the river. You could wash yourself up in the river. You clean yourself up in the river. But not only are you cleaning yourself up in the river, you have to be mindful of your circumstances. You got to be mindful of all the things that are around you. You have to be mindful of your environment. So now you're dealing with some fears. Now you're dealing with some insecurities. You're still cleaning yourself up. But now you're dealing with fears and insecurities because now you're hearing noises that you don't understand where they're coming from. Last group is fire. Fire. The bath water cleans you up externally. The river water cleans you up externally as well. but it also gets you begin to start dealing with your fears and your insecurities. It gets you to begin to be mindful of your circumstances and your surroundings. Fire is totally different. Fire goes deep. Fire goes to the root. You take gold and you put it in a fire. And what happens is the fire burns all of the impurities out of the gold. And all that is left is this chunk of 24 karat gold. Because everything else burned and came to the surface and was separated from the gold. So all that is left is this pure gold. And that's what fire does to us. Fire burns up everything that isn't really who we are at our core. See, you can't go through the fire and still come out with anger, with low self-esteem, with hatred, with insecurities. You can't go through the fire and come out with jealousy and all this other stuff. Because all that's consumed in the fire. And so when you go through the fire, you come out pure. When you go through the fire, you come out your best version of yourself. And that's the whole intent of the fire. That's the whole intent of all three different levels, is to clean you up and to get you to understand who you really are, and to get rid of all of the emotional attachments and all the other things that we picked up through life. That's not really who we are. And that doesn't help us reach our full potential. I don't care who you are. Every single one of us is going to have to go through those three groups in our growth and development in order for us to reach our full potential, in order for us to reach our greatest version of ourselves. You can't just come into the world talking about, oh, I'm ready for the fire, and you ain't went through the bath, and you ain't went through the river. No, that's not how it works. You can't skip. You can't go from the bath to the fire. And we have to understand that just because we've gone and we've grown and we've matured in so many areas, and we've gone through all the stages in every area, in some areas of our lives, there are still some areas of our lives that are at that bath level. Just because you went through all of these stages and you've dealt with your anger, you've dealt with hatred, you dealt with animosity and bitterness and resentment and all this other stuff. You've gone through all three stages in this one area of your life. You're going to have to come right back down and start all over again in the bath to work your way back up again in another area of your life. That's why the phoenix burns up and comes back and goes through that whole process all over again. It lives its life, reaches potential in this area, consumes itself in fire, and has to come back and be reborn, that birth process again. And in the birth process, you're coming through water. That's the whole meaning behind it all. The phoenix is constantly coming back, constantly going through that cycle. Because there's so many different areas of us that need to go through this process. And as humans, we can only handle so much at a time. You can't go through all three stages in regards to all of your issues at one time. It's not going to happen. And it's arrogant and foolish for you to think that because you've gone through the fire in certain areas, that you ain't got to go through the fire no more, that you've arrived and that you all good now. No. No. That's not how this works. My hope and prayer is that you come into an awareness of where you are really at in your growth and development. And that you humble yourself and realize that, man, I thought I was over here. I really may not be over here. I may be over here because you know what? You're going to find out sooner or later where you're really at. And it's going to be humbling. Either we can humble ourselves or we can allow life to humble us. Either way it go, we're going to get humbled. I love you guys. Peace.